Hi folks, on today's episode of Northern Outlier, I'm going to be walking you through the process of applying stain to one of your projects. So if you've ever wondered how to finish off one of your pieces, avoid that blotchiness or streaking that can occur with staining, I'm going to show you how to do it properly and have a nice finished piece. First of all, I want you to hit that like button, hit subscribe down below, stay tuned and enjoy. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have all your materials handy and you're ready to go. So in this case, we're going to be using a tack cloth. Tack cloth is critical in getting all that fine dust and particles off the board prior to staining. You also want to prep the board. So before you put stain on, you want to put on something called pre-stain conditioner. This is critical, especially to avoid blotchiness. So if you've ever had blotching or uneven application of stain on your wood, this is a critical step. So that will be the next step. Then you put your stain on. So pick out your stain, whatever color you want. I'm using Special Walnut by Minwax. I usually always use Minwax, it's a great product. You do you though. The next thing you need is your mixing stick. So you always want to make sure you mix your pre-stain conditioner and your stain very well. I'm also going to be using shop towels to apply this. I prefer to rub it in. Some people want to brush it on. So you can also have a brush as well. I will be using shop towels to rub it in. Always use something that is lint free, otherwise you could get material building up on the board. And then just a safety consideration, so I will be using a mask and I will also be wearing gloves. You don't want to have this stuff contact your skin too much, it's poisonous, and you don't want to be breathing in the fumes. So you can see I have my board here in front of me, it's all prepped and ready to go. I sanded it all down, that would be the first step. No matter what, I always do a light sanding, usually with a 220 grit, just to kind of really smooth it out. And I also find it kind of helps open up the pores and allows that stain to penetrate properly. So after you've sanded your piece, that's when you're going to use your tack cloth. Again, it's tacky. We're going to wipe down the entire surface and it's going to remove all the fine particulate and dust that was left over from sanding. So we're going to do that now. I like to do a circling motion when I use a tack cloth. I don't know if there's really a technique to it, but that's what I've always done. Now that we've gone and removed all the dust, our next step is to apply our pre-stain conditioner. So we're going to be doing that using a brush. So we've waited about 15 minutes since we put the conditioner on. Now I'm just going to go ahead and lightly kind of wipe it just to get rid of any excess that's sitting on there. So after you've gone ahead and wiped it down, next step is to put your stain on. Wood stain conditioner says apply the stain within 2 hours. I've waited, 20-25 minutes. I'm going to jump right into it. Again, we're using Minwax Special Walnut. First step is to go ahead and open it up, mix it really well. So now that our stain's well mixed, we're ready to put it on. So I'm going to be using a shop towel. You can use rag, you can use a brush, whatever you like. I'm going to put on my PPE now and start applying it. You guys can just sit back and watch and see how it turns out. So I've got one coat on. I'm gonna let it sit for 2 hours, then I'm gonna go back and put the second coat on. You don't have to do a second coat. If you want a richer, darker color, that's when you do a second coat. Okay, so we got that second coat on, we let it sit for a few hours. I actually went ahead and I put a third coat on as well. I just wanted to darken it up a little bit. So that sat for a few hours. So this is our result, and I'll show you a close-up too of what it looks like. Again, I was using Minwax Special Walnut oil-based stain, and I think it turned out pretty well. So there you have it, folks. That is how you apply stain to your project. The next step would be to apply a few coats of Varathane, but we're gonna save that for another video. Well, there you have it. I hope you liked the video. On the next episode, we're gonna be applying Varathane to our project, and I'll show you how to do that step by step. I want you to go ahead and hit that like button, hit subscribe down below if you haven't already. Stay tuned, we'll see you next time. Thank you.